All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Maxed Out Radio. This is episode 13, I believe. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but obviously we have the Discord server set up now, and that's where I'm going to be answering questions from now on. I'm not even going to bother to put them on my Instagram or anything other than that. So if you guys are interested in asking questions, or you just want to have some comments that you want to share or anything, go ahead and leave them in the comment section of this video, or join the Discord and leave them in the channel that's dedicated for it on there. So I'm going to be reading them off right now. I think we had about 5 questions to answer, and I'm really excited to get through them. So let's just get right into it. I'm sorry if I butcher your usernames. I'm going to try my best. Luinor, how many hours a day does Reina practice? And also, where did you get the name Burisuko from? So I'm going to start with the name one first because that's really easy to answer. So I hear a lot of Westerners pronounce my name as Burisuko, which is totally wrong. That's not how you say it. It's just Burisuko. Because all it is a Japanese reinterpretation or pronunciation of my last name. So very underwhelming explanation there, but that is what my channel name is. It's just a Japanese way of saying my last name. So Burisuko, and we'll basically just leave it at that. So if you're ever wondering how you say it or where the name came from, that's it. It's just Burisuko. So which instrument... Or sorry, I didn't finish your question. You had the other one. How many hours a day does Reina practice? So I don't want to spoil too much of the story, right? This is a little bit of a sensitive question because as the manga goes on, you guys are going to find out more about Reina as a character. I have thought so much about these characters that they all have their own backstories that are very in-depth, and they're all intertwined and connected with each other in some way. So all I'm going to say for that is Reina has been playing the guitar for a very, very long time, and she's very, very good. It directly lines up. Obviously, if she played for a really long time, she'd probably be really good. So she's been playing for a very long time. And someone like that, they probably practice a couple hours every single day, maybe 1 to 2 hours a day. I'd say is pretty normal for most people who play the guitar at an elite level, if we're going to say it like that. So I would say, yeah, maybe I'd give her somewhere around, she probably practices about 1 to 2 hours a day. And she's been doing that for years, right? So she's probably gotten pretty damn good over time. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, the next one is from Kintsu, which is which instrument of the girls, or the ones you own at least, is your favorite? And if it's guitar, like which specific model of guitar do you find yourself drawn to playing the most? Awesome question. So obviously, one of the strange things about Maxed Out, of course I'm going to answer your question, but I want to mention this point first, is that because I'm writing the music and the manga, I find myself not practicing the guitar that much. So I really only play the guitar when I'm writing songs. And because of that, I'm never really learning other songs. Like I obviously started my channel and started my guitar journey off of learning a lot of the Bocce the Rock stuff, but I never actually continued learning the songs after the first couple of hours through each one. So that helped me get started with the guitar. But then I just started writing music after that, and I'm just always writing my own music. So every time I'm playing an instrument, it's usually for a song that we are currently writing. And because of that, you know, I'm just using the same guitar over and over and over again. There's only 2 guitars that I use, which is the Blitz Les Paul, which is that knockoff Les Paul that I bought from Japan. There was a video about me doing that, which was interesting. And I don't use that one that much. I use it on a few songs here and there. I really only use it for like leads and solos because it's got the humbuckers that sound really nice. But then the other one is the Yamaha Pacifica, which is a 612 special edition teal version. And that is, I mean, there's no reason for me to not spoil it at this point. I think it's become pretty obvious that that is the guitar that Maki is going to buy later on in the story. It's basically Like Bocchi has her black Les Paul that became like iconic with that story. And so this Yamaha Pacifica teal version is one that I picked to be like the iconic instrument of this story. So that is going to happen in volume 1 within the first, couple of chapters. She will buy that. So I don't feel bad about spoiling that because I think that's fairly obvious at this point. Like she needs a guitar that she's going to buy. I've drawn her in many illustrations with that guitar. And so obviously you put 2 and 2 together. That's the one that she's going to get, right? And so why did I choose that guitar? Well, because 1, it's Japanese made, right? And so there's going to be a lot of them in Japan. And 2, it's a really high-end guitar that's not that expensive, if that makes sense. Like it is just a really well-built guitar that's super comfortable to play. And I figured if a beginner was playing that, it probably wouldn't be too overwhelming. And it just looks awesome, right? Obviously with her colors, she's got the cyan and teal going on in her character's color palette. And so you throw the teal guitar into that, it's got this beautiful metallic flake finish on the body. And so you put those 2 together, like it just looks sick, to be honest with you. So that's why I chose that guitar. And that is the one that I play almost every single time I am playing the guitar. I absolutely love that thing. I'm going to do videos in the future on how I achieve the sound for all of the songs and the guitar tones that I use and all of that. Don't worry, like I will definitely be doing lots of music related videos on this channel. It's just that I am trying to get everything set up right now. So, yeah, that is the specific model that I play the most. It's the Yamaha Pacifica. That's the one that you hear in the songs pretty much all the time. And it's almost always on position 4 of the Switch. So I think that's in between the middle pickup and the humbucker that's on there. I think that's what that setting is doing. But there's 5 switches, so it's a little bit hard to know which one's doing what, but I always play on position 4. All right, Ultracart, a returning viewer, always asking questions on this lovely little radio show. Thinking of new questions is kind of difficult because the story has been rebooted. Any of my thoughts regarding the original 3 chapters is now moot. I would agree. I would say if you guys read the old chapters, I would just kind of take what happened in that very lightly. A lot of the stuff that you're going to be seeing now is going to be quite different. We'll get into the new chapter later on in this episode, though. So more of a general question then. Since you are American, writing a slice of life story that takes place in Japan, you probably have a lot of research about what life is like in that particular setting you've chosen. I kind of messed up that sentence. I'm a little woozy right now. It's the word I'm going to explain, but yeah, I'll get into that later. So they're talking about the setting and the research and, me having to research what life is like there. Has your research caused you to correct any misconceptions or assumptions you had about life in Japan? Or what have you learned about the location of Toyota that stands out to you? I absolutely love this question, so I might talk about this for several minutes. So yes, absolutely, writing a slice of life story that takes place in Japan when you don't live there is incredibly challenging. Like way harder than it seems. To be able to accurately represent everything in this story is just really hard. Like it takes a tremendous amount of dedication. And this is something that, obviously I've spoken about, some people may not even believe me when I say this, but obviously I've spoken about how this story took like a year and a half to plan before I even started drawing the chapters. That's why I kind of launched it and there wasn't anything coming out for a while, was because I've just been planning all of these things and making sure everything is accurately represented and whatnot. And so the setting is the most important part of that for me. And so why I love this question is because I get to talk about how much I thought about this city and where it takes place and why I chose this. And one of the main reasons that I find the setting is so important is because like it's where the story takes place. So you have to absolutely nail the setting to make, I'm going to use the term, a god tier manga. If you're going to make a god tier manga or a god tier story, you have to absolutely nail this setting perfectly, because that's where the characters live. Everything revolves around where that manga is, where it takes place. You know, the people that live there, the buildings, the locations, the like literally everything revolves around the setting. And so I chose this specific story for a reason. Number one, I wanted it to be a place that didn't seem too out of touch for everyone in the world. So it's a middle tier, middle class city that doesn't really have anything incredible that stands out about it, because I saw it as a place in Japan that anyone could live. So anyone could live here and feel like just an existing member of society in this place. Whereas if I chose something like Tokyo, obviously that's like really media focused, right? There's a lot of pop culture there, and I know like millions and millions of people live in Tokyo, but as an outsider, as someone globally around the world, like you see Tokyo and it's just kind of like this big spectacle, right? It's hard to envision yourself living there if you don't live there, if that makes sense, right? So in choosing the other setting that I went for, like a smaller city like Toyota, I was able to choose a place in Japan that not only one I wanted to visit and see, but I chose it because it wasn't a big spectacle. Like it's just some random city in the middle of Japan, 45 minutes to an hour outside of Nagoya, which isn't really this other amazing city either, right? It's just a neutral, populated city in Japan. But it allows me to represent what Japanese life is actually like and what the country actually looks like where you travel outside of Tokyo. And I've always been so fascinated with that growing up, and I obviously haven't gotten the chance to travel there yet. And so, through making friends like our vocalist Yui and being able to speak to her and find out what life is like in Japan, and obviously planning on this channel has basically allowed me to continue saving up money to go and travel to Japan so I can see it with my own eyes. This location has just become very important to me because of that aspect. So I know I kind of went on a big tangent there about, that particular setting, like what I've chosen. But I do want to answer a little bit more of your question. Like me being American absolutely plays into that factor of it being a struggle, because the way that I do things as an American, the way that I live is totally different from the way somebody lives in Japan. And so I'm very conscious of that when writing the story. I try not to let my American influence change the way that the characters live or anything like that. I'm always trying to accurately research everything. I'll just give you an example, like the school that they go to. I have basically scoured that school's website. Was that even the right word? I don't even know if that was the right word. I have gone through that school's website up and down, every single tab, read every single thing about it to know exactly what the students go through throughout a school year, like how many years they even go to school, because they only go to school for 3 years in high school in Japan, and what type of club activities the school has, and when do they meet, and when is the cultural festival, which seems to be around September, towards the end of September for that school. So all those types of things, even just me talking about that now, you could probably tell, like I have thought about it so much that everything, and I mean literally everything, has probably been considered. And if I haven't done it yet, I will get to it at some point. So I have thought about so much stuff about this setting. So the last thing I want to say is, like, what have I learned about the location of Toyota that stands out to you? For one, I don't think I have any misconceptions or assumptions about life in Japan. I think everything has actually, as my research has gone and as I've talked to, our vocalist Yui and other friends that I've made in Japan, like it's just, it seems pretty close to what I envisioned it being. Like, I think one of the biggest things people struggle with is like thinking it's some fantasy world, like everything is better in that country. And, I've been very aware that, it's just another country, right? It's just another place to live. Like there's so many things that we share in common over here and there's just differences, but people are people. They live the same mostly in all countries, right? Some a little bit more outrageous than others, but Japan tends to be on the tamer and safer side. It's like the safest country in the world. So that obviously plays a factor, but it's not some miracle fantasy land where everything is amazing and better, right? So obviously I don't look at it through that lens. It's just a different country. And so I just have to write about it in that sense. And having that outlook on it has really allowed me to not have any misconceptions or assumptions about it. It's very much like what I expected it to be. And if anything, that's just made it easier for me to write it more accurately when you look at it through that aspect. So the other thing is, what have I learned about the location of Toyota that stands out to you? This city has become really interesting to me because it reminds me of where I currently live in the US. So I'm obviously not going to dox myself. I'm not going to tell you guys where I live, but it is similar to that city of Toyota. Like the landscape just looks very similar. The way that the city is laid out is very similar. Like it's not huge, but it just looks the same. And so I just get that feeling of home when I look at this city in Japan, Toyota that is. And so I've learned about all the fun things that they have in that city. Like obviously the city is sponsored by the car manufacturer, right? That's where the headquarters are for it. And so this city is financially well off because of that. So it's a very, very nice place in that sense, where, the houses are very well maintained. They're all newly built. The developments in the living areas are all, properly developed neighborhoods. It's not like rural Japan, which is like currently really financially struggling. And it doesn't look like that at all, right? It's a very well built up, nice area. Lots of things for people to do. The parks are absolutely beautiful. It's one of the things that I've really focused on in this story is just the visual aspect of the nature around there, because I just find it very pretty to look at. So that really stands out to me. And just things like the festivals that take place around the stadium. It's obviously the Toyota Stadium there is like their big structure that they have there, which I think the main purpose of it is the soccer team that plays out of there called the Nagoya Grampus, which plays in the J1 League, which is the top tier of Japanese football. So it's like, I said football like I'm a European. It's the top tier of Japanese soccer. And so they essentially, whatever it's called, Nagoya Grampus plays out of there and another stadium in Nagoya. I think they like go between the two. But all around Toyota, you always see all around Toyota's like buildings and stuff and the stations, like you always see Nagoya Grampus advertisements. And, so I think that's what that stadium is mainly used for, but they have other really cool things there. Like they had like a Toyota rally festival. I think it happens like every year, which is basically like this automobile festival for rally cars and stuff, and they like literally drive them in the stadium. It's like a really big car show for rally cars. I don't know if they have that every year, but they had it recently in the last couple of years. They had the Rugby World Cup there a few years back, maybe about 7-8 years ago. So all sorts of really cool things are happening there. And, you know, I just have to research frequently and find out about it. But it's really, really fascinating and really cool. So, yeah, I think that answers most of your question. I could probably do a whole episode talking about this location. And one thing I wanted to make very clear, now that we're on the topic of this, and I'm going to go into the next question in a second. We only have 2 more questions, so I just want to finish this one up real quick. I obviously have never been to Japan, and I really, really, really want to go, like desperately bad, and not the type of trip that most people would go on where they go for a vacation. The trip that I want to go on is very specifically planned to be a maxed out location scouting trip, like a research trip to visit all of the locations that I've drawn, see them with my own eyes, be able to take pictures as reference material. Like, it is a very focused trip that's going to be an extended period, so probably over a month. And that is extremely expensive for me because I live on the other side of the world. So I did want to say this, that your means of support as my fans is greatly, greatly appreciated, because that's exactly what it's going to. So obviously I do YouTube as my full-time job. I make this manga as my full-time job. I've explained that in many videos before. And I don't make a lot of money. You know, I do not make a lot of money. I don't want to make it seem like I'm rich off of YouTube or anything. My channel is very small. I do not make a lot of money. It's extremely difficult. And so I just wanted to say that doing things like supporting the Patreon, or even I think I have like a donation link on my Linktree or something like that, even just donating on that. I plan on doing streams in the future where you guys can donate. It is a really, really big help, and that's where the money is being put towards, just so that I can take that trip to fulfill this wonderful vision that I have for Maxed Out, because it is a trip that's going to cost several thousands and thousands of dollars. You know, I don't know how much it would cost, but probably around 10,000, I think, if I had to give you an estimate. So it is really, really, really expensive to do that type of research trip in the way that I have envisioned it and planned it, right? Like, so, you know, don't think of it as I'm going on a trip to go to Tokyo and, you know, visit all the spots that everybody goes to. It's very, very different from that. I'd probably like rent an Airbnb or something like that and just stay in it for a month and, you know, just literally take pictures of things everywhere. So and of course vlog the whole thing for the channel and share it with you guys, and have you see everything that I'm going through. You know, I don't know when it's going to happen, right? This could take me several years to plan this out and eventually get it to happen. But when it does happen, I will absolutely make sure that you guys see it and you are along for the ride with me through the whole thing. I think it'd be really awesome to have you guys see that. So anyways, yeah, that answers your whole question. I'm sorry that was really long. I was really excited to talk about that. And as I said earlier, I could talk about that forever. So I could probably do a whole episode talking about this, the city and everything I've learned about it. So anyways, let's go on to the next question. What is your desired scope for the story? A few volumes or more than 20? And what is your desired update schedule for chapters? Okay, so the second question of that is the easiest one, or sorry, the last one, the third question, which is my update schedule for the chapters, which is monthly. So that is the goal that I'm aiming for every single time. Obviously, in the serialized and published world, you are pretty much fixated to upload monthly. And if you miss, you don't get paid for that month. So you basically have to upload. I'm saying the word upload. You have to, you know, produce chapters monthly for the magazine so that you get paid to be a mangaka. And if you miss, then you obviously don't make it in the magazine for that month. And that is money you are not making for the month. So if it's your full-time job, that you can obviously see why that's a really big deal for creators. So I can produce 13 pages a month comfortably and keep them at the quality that they're at right now. So that is what I'm comfortable with doing. I don't think I could manage doing it in 2 weeks. I think that's too much. It's too hard. I would not have time for YouTube or anything else. So although I would like to produce them quicker, I'm sure all of my fans are understanding of this. They've said it many times, and I'm sure you are as well, asking the question. DIAXORA. I forgot to mention your name when you said this question. So this is from, it's either Dia X Aura or DIAX Aura. ORA. So yeah, monthly is the comfortable pace for me because I obviously have to take care of YouTube and the music as well, which is seriously time intensive. I really don't have much time to do anything else throughout the day other than work on this project because I'm doing it as my job. So my desired scope for the story. So I obviously pictured this as a long story, so I didn't picture this as like 1 or 2 volumes. It's definitely not a one shot. So even though most competitions you submit one shots, this is totally different from like a contest type of manga. This is something that is planned to be a series. It's going to be very long. I'm going to be making it for a very long time, as long as I'm still allowed to, if that makes sense. As long as nothing changes with the current situation that I'm in. So I'm planning on doing this for a while. And, you know, I can't really give you a volume estimate because although I have the ending pretty much written out, it's all the stuff in between that's still open to interpretation. Like I have guidelines of where I want this story to go and arcs of all the characters and what I want to happen. And it all is pieced together very nicely and flows well and everything. It's all been planned out. It's just not intricately like page by page written out because I do that at the beginning of the month when the chapter production starts. So that's when I write out the storyboard and I take all the bullet points I have and I actually form it into pages and a official storyboard. And so because of that, I really don't know how many volumes it's going to be. It's just that the structure that I am absolutely set on, that's not going to change, is the first 3 volumes are dedicated to characters. So volume 1 is dedicated to Maki and Reina. Volume 2 will be dedicated to Maki and Kotane or Maki and Heki. And volume 3 is the same. So that's going to give the series a very strong foundation of how the relationships between the 4 characters are connected with each other. And then from there, I can do whatever I want with the story, with the guidelines that I have written out. So that's really the scope of what's going on in this story. And I just want to correct myself just in case this is someone listening to this for the first time. It is not a Yuri manga. They are not in love with each other. So there's no, storylines like that going on. When I use the word relationship, I use it in more of a friendship aspect, like how they are connected in that sense. So I just wanted to clear that up in case this was someone's first time listening to this radio show. So hopefully that answered your question. This next one from E. What did Maxed Out look like at the start before you presented it to the public? Is there any interesting backstories or maybe some scrapped characters we might see in the future? I love this question. Thank you for submitting it at the last minute. This came just a few hours before I recorded this episode. Yes, there was absolutely interesting backstories and scrapped characters that I have for this. So Maxed Out at the start, you guys aren't even going to believe this, was actually supposed to be about a girl who was an EDM artist that was kind of followed the same character development. Like she was like a shut-in that became a popular EDM artist, but it was way more like comedy focused. So obviously I've talked about so many times about me watching Bocha the Rock and getting inspired by that. And at the time, like I was still a professional electronic music artists. And I thought to myself, oh, well, no one's ever really written a manga about that before. And that's something that I can do both of, right? I can write music and then also learn how to draw and write the manga. So I can be her as an artist, if that makes sense. Like, she's an electronic music artist. I can just like essentially just be her. And then just like never share my face or anything, right? And so whatever, like I show you, you can kind of see where I'm going with that. Like, I could like literally role play, or I could LARP. I could LARP as Maki, as an EDM artist, but back then she was called Max-chan. I hadn't given her the name Maki yet. And so, you know, that was the original vision for it, like just a really comedy focused story about an EDM artist. And that didn't last very long. That only lasted about 1 month of development before I just kind of didn't really like where that was going. And most of it was due to the fact that I was just completely inexperienced with making manga. Like, I had no idea how to write a manga that engages people. I didn't know how to create an interesting story idea. And so it was just like, I don't even think I finished 5 pages of it. It was just like 5 pages of comedy before I realized, okay, I need to scrap this and move on to the next idea. And so that happened many times. That happened about 4 times before I eventually landed on what Maxed Out became. So it went through, you know, a couple months of these early drafts where the characters looked very different. They don't look anything like they do now. They looked extremely different. I mean, even the illustrations on this Maxed Out radio show look completely different from what they look like now. I haven't finished the new character design sheets, but it looks way different now. And so the early versions of Maxed Out looked very similar to the Bocchi the Rock characters, because that's what I was studying at the time. That's what I really liked. That's what I kind of pictured the story being. And so that's what it was just represented after. It just kind of looked like something that Cloverworks made just really poorly. So, you know, obviously I ended up developing out of that, and, you know, it doesn't really follow that path anymore. And so what it ended up becoming was, through working on Maxed Out and making it, I really was influenced by whatever I was watching at the time. And I really love this tip for newer manga artists, so I'm going to tell you guys this. Don't be afraid to be inspired by the things you're watching. Watch a show that you wouldn't normally watch, or, you know, just even if you're just watching an anime that you like or something, or reading a manga that you like, try to pay attention to little tiny things that pique your interest or keep you engaged. And that's what I did. And it eventually became my own manga and my own story because of that. Like, there was so many different things that I took note of. Like, I love the way that Hibike Euphonium was visually represented, and how a lot of the characters interact with each other. I absolutely loved that. And so I was inspired by a lot of those things for my own manga. Same thing goes for Frieren. Like, I really love the way Frieren was paced and how that show is visually represented with the environment and stuff, and a lot of the moral lessons it teaches you. And so, you know, I was inspired by that and wrote down ideas based off of that. So I did that for like literally every single show, every single anime that I've watched, or every single manga that I've read. And so that helped me develop Maxed Out into what it is now and move out of the amateur stage that it was at. So in that answers your second half of the question. There were absolutely scrapped characters and even just interesting backstories that never made it to the final product, which is what you're seeing now. So like, you know, I probably have like 100 songs that I wrote. Like, I'm not even lying about that. About 100 songs that you guys are never going to hear that have been completely, you know, removed from existence. I still have them on my PC, but they will never be shown to you guys. And so, you know, there's just so many things like that. Illustrations, characters, character designs. So, you know, Maki as a character has gone through like 10 different versions already. And, you know, I'm actually really happy with where she's landed now. And I do want to do a video talking about it. Like, one of the things about Maki as a character is that, like, she's got this iconic cyan and blue hair. But the hilarious thing is that if I were to design this character now with my current skill set, I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't give her teal hair because the story is much more grounded now. It's a more mature story now. And so I would probably stick with something like brown hair or something like that, or something that matches her personality. But now I'm too afraid to change it because so many of you have come to know Maki as like the teal haired character, or I get a lot of comments calling her like Blue Bochi, right? And so now I don't want to change it because of that. But you know, her character design was originally developed in a very old state of mind where I was a new artist. Like I had barely known how to draw when I was making her character. So because of that, like I've had to slightly adapt that over time. And it's just created this strange hybrid of a character. But I think I've done a good job at making it look a little bit more modern and, you know, in line with proper anime and stuff like that. But, you know, it's been a challenge. And so, yeah, there's definitely been some scrapped characters as well. Originally, she was supposed to have a mentor vocalist character that came in and like they were going to go to a live house, and she was going to meet this mentor vocalist character, kind of similar to maybe is her name Hikari from Bocchi the Rock? I forget the bassist. It starts with an H. I can't remember her name right now off the top of my head, but essentially be like that type of character, but just not drunk all the time. Be a little bit more wise, a little bit more mature. And I actually ended up deciding against that for that reason. That just kind of sounded like a Bocchi the Rock story arc, right? It just kind of was following the same thing. And so I ended up going down the path which you guys saw in chapter 3, that Heki is the one that knows all this stuff about music and is gonna be like kind of a mentor-ish figure. But the way I'm going about it is going to be very different in the new version. Like, I really didn't get that far with it in the old version of Maxed Out that was read. But those of you who did read it probably picked up on that because I think that's what that third chapter was pretty much all about. And so you can see how I decided to end up scrapping that character. She had a name, which I think was Chai, like Chiai. And which was named after an artist that I really like listening to. But yeah, I just decided not to keep it and ended up just scrapping that character for now. Maybe I'll find a different use for her or something in the future. But yeah, it was supposed to be like a former bandmate of Heki or something. But yeah, just decided against that. And so she no longer exists in this storyline that I'm going down. Yeah, there's definitely some lots of characters that I've thought of. Like I've always wanted to add a violinist to the band, but I'm a little afraid to make the band 5 members and not 4 because it's an odd number, and I just really haven't like thought about this character at all. Like, I've wanted to add a violinist for my own sake because I want to put violin in the songs that I'm making, but I haven't really thought about like as a character, like, you know, who would be a violinist? How would she know the other characters? Like, is she going to serve a really important purpose to these other characters? Or is it just going to be like, you know, somebody they know from school that they just asked to record a few pieces on for the songs, and then they're like not really a member of the band, if that makes sense. So I haven't really thought about it too much, but if I decide to put violin tracks in the songs, then I'm sure I'll find a way to come up with a violinist character to be a part of it. So yeah, those are, you know, some things and whatnot. And, you know, I don't think I've like scrapped too many characters. That really that one Livehouse character was the only one I could think of. Chi is what I called her. That's the only one I can think of that I've like genuinely scrapped and have not kept. But most of them, I just haven't introduced them to you yet. So I will say there are lots and lots of more characters coming that have been designed. They are ready to go. And they have their names and stuff and their purpose. It's just that they haven't made it into the story yet because I haven't gotten there. So there will be more. It's not just about these 4 little guys here. So I think that's the end of the questions. I think that was all of them. So there are a couple of points that I just jotted down here on this text document that I'll read out, and then we can finish this off. So obviously the new chapter is out. I doubt anyone, I feel like I've been talking for a while already. So yeah, I've been talking for 40 minutes. So I'll just go through these quickly. Obviously the new chapter is out. If you watch this radio show, I'm sure you already read it. Like this radio show is for my biggest fans, quote unquote, is what I'll say there, like the people who really pay attention to the stuff that I do every day. And so I'm sure you guys already read it, so thank you in advance for reading it. But if you haven't, it is out. I highly recommend you read it. I think it was a big improvement from the original one, and it is it definitely takes a different approach in the first chapter, and obviously as the story goes on, it will look very different from what already existed. So I put a lot of time and effort into making it much better than the old version. So anyways, yes, I am working on new songs. I know there was no new song for this chapter. I really just wanted to focus on making this chapter as good as I possibly could, and I didn't want any other distractions. So I just cut everything else out. Like, I just wasn't making YouTube videos. I wasn't making any songs. I just wanted to finish the story and finish this chapter and make it as good as I could. And so that's why there were no songs for the new chapter, but I am actively working on new songs every single day. So I have 3 that I've been working on very heavily right now. So you will see those in the coming months. So my goal is basically, once I finish volume 1, to have finished the first album. So I think I want to do like maybe 4 or 5 more songs, and then we'll be done with the initial maxed out album. And so one more announcement I wanted to make about Maxed Out is that it is receiving an official Japanese translation. So everybody, round of applause. It is finally receiving an official Japanese translation. So I have wanted this story to expand into the Japanese market for a long time, and now I've finally found someone who is a professional translator who is going to do it for me. I did not want this translated by AI. That is how the first whatever couple of chapters were done, and I didn't like the way it was done. It was just done completely inaccurately. It doesn't sound like traditional manga language, and you know, more and more as we go on, like, I just really don't like AI. There's really not much else to say about it. Like, I hate AI. And so you know, just for an example, like, I get so many sponsorship opportunities from AI companies trying to pay me to put stuff on my channel. Like, I've probably had 50 of them approach me already, and I say no to every single one of them because I hate AI so much. You know, it's just, it doesn't really belong in the creative world. And so anyways, that's why I decided I wanted to pay a translator to do it so that it was accurate and it was done right. And so, yeah, we now have a translator that is translating Maxed Out professionally into Japanese. And so that should be coming very soon. So I am recording this on a Monday, I believe. I hope I didn't lose track of my days. Yes, it is Monday. So I should be receiving that tomorrow or the next day, so very soon. And I will upload that as soon as possible. I might need to redraw some stuff myself, but for the most part, she's doing an excellent job. So thank you very much to our translator. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, so that's why I'm not mentioning it or anything. Yes, the Japanese translation is coming. As for the channel itself, obviously you guys have seen that I've started experimenting with some new style of videos. I have the illustration corrections now from the Discord server. So I've also been taking video suggestions from people for things to create. So I'm going to do kind of a mix of illustration focused corrections or music focused corrections, like tutorial style videos too. And some more I don't want to call them video essays because they're not video essays, but videos where I talk about things about manga. I've made a couple of videos about manga now where I'm just kind of talking about the idea of things, and people seem to really enjoy those too. So I want to do the best of both worlds. I have completely stopped focusing on shorts at this point. So obviously I have the Instagram page that's got several thousand followers, and I've got the TikTok page that has several thousand followers. I'm really not focusing on making shorts videos anymore because they just don't really do anything for me, if that makes sense. They don't it's a good way to get your channel started, but the longer videos is where the focus is for me, and that's what I want to be doing. That's what I always wanted to be doing. So I think now is a good time to transition to that, and so I'm focusing on that basically full time now. So you won't see many shorts videos from me anymore unless it's something funny, or I think I can do a short tutorial and it not take up a bunch of time. Which is the big reason why this is happening, because I am a full-time mangaka, full-time YouTuber, and full-time musician. There's only so much full time I have, right? I have to manage all of this and properly plan out my days so that everything is done, accordingly. I'm really not in a position to just do whatever I want every day. There's just not enough hours in the day to do that. So whatever I'm inspired to do that day, whether it be music, manga, or YouTube, I try to balance them all out at the same time. So if I have a lot of inspiration for a song, I'll do, okay, I'm going to work on that song for 5 hours today. Then I'm going to do 2 hours of YouTube and then 2 hours of manga. And then I'll chill out for the rest of the day. That gets me my 9 hours, my 10-hour workday with a couple of hours at night to do whatever the heck I want after. So hopefully you guys can understand that. And to explain that, what have I been doing after my work days? Well, lately I've been playing beta Minecraft nonstop. Some of you may know I used to be a Minecraft YouTuber. That channel has since now been disguised. I think I'm going to return to it and use it as my second channel for this. And I'm just going to upload all the gaming stuff that I do on there. Just so if you just want another avenue to listen to me ramble about random things, then I guess that's the place for you. But I don't know if I'm going to share it yet. I'm just going to soft launch it out there. It's going to be a secret. You're going to have to try and find it. But the name of it has been changed. So I had that channel for about 1.5 years. I was a YouTube partner on it. And I had that Minecraft channel for a while, and just decided it wasn't something that I wanted to do as a job. I wanted some other passion to drive me, and this manga and this story became that for me. And I really enjoy the world of anime and the industry of that. So this is what I see my goals as long term. But I really enjoyed making Minecraft videos and other gaming videos. It was something I always did for fun and enjoyed it. And so I have that second channel now for that. I haven't uploaded anything there yet, but I will because I've been playing beta Minecraft nonstop. I've been playing it so much because newer Minecraft is very, I don't want to use the word easy, but convenient. It's very convenient. And there's just so many things to do. It's almost overwhelming. And because I'm like so stressed during the day and so busy with all the stuff maxed out and just everything that's going on, something like beta Minecraft is so simplistic, and I've already played it for a long time, so I'm very familiar with it. It's just really simple. Like I can just log on and relax, and there's not that much to worry about, and I can just build stuff for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I can go to sleep. It's just like a nice wind down time for me. So that's why I've been playing it a lot. But I play other games. Like I play a lot of Battlefield. I've always been playing Battlefield, like ever since I was a kid. When I was in middle school, like I had probably had hundreds, if not thousands of hours on Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. And so I've been playing Battlefield 6 lately. I think I've talked about that in some of my videos. Many of you don't know that I was almost a professional Rocket League player. I was very heavily invested in Rocket League for a long time. I have almost like 9,000 hours in that game at this point. I do still play it. I don't want to use the word regularly, but I'm not trying to be a professional Rocket League player anymore. I'm long past those days, but I do log on and play every now and then for fun. Like with my friends or just by myself if I really truly have nothing else to do. But I'm not too much into competitive gaming these days. More and more as I become an adult, I don't really want to spend my time doing that. I'd rather be doing something like beta Minecraft, where I just don't have to think about what I'm doing and can just kind of chill out and relax, because video games are for leisure, right? So I don't want to be like stressed out and in a super competitive state with something like high level Rocket League all the time. So I have to be in a certain mood to be playing that. I've also been playing soccer outside. So, like I'll just go to the field, the local school that's by my house, and just play soccer. I've talked about many times on this podcast before that I'm a very athletic person. I like to be active. It's really important as a mangaka that you get your exercise in for the day, because you are sitting in a chair a lot. And so especially for someone like myself who is doing music, YouTube, and manga, like I have to set out certain points in the day for me to exercise. And so I find it very important to keep my fitness up and just try and at least stay active. So I've been playing soccer to do that. And yeah, that leads me to something I just want to talk about a little bit. I'll make it clear, just kind of share with you guys. Like, I don't want to be a doomer here, but I'm not exactly in the best position right now. I'm kind of really struggling financially, I want to say. So I have a place to live, which I'm very thankful for. So I have a roof over my head, but I don't have a lot of money to buy food for myself. I don't currently have a car right now. I own a car, but I can't afford to keep it on the road. So I've just taken it off the road. So I have no car. I have to walk everywhere. And yeah, it's just been really difficult lately. So that's why I've set up things like the Patreon, or if it seems like I'm probably going to set up YouTube memberships as well. And I have the donation links and stuff. Like, I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me. Like, I'm actively choosing to do this to myself. I could go out and get a different job tomorrow if I wanted to. But the thing is, I really love making YouTube videos and I love working on this manga, and I don't want to give it up. And it's just really hard to manage having a, traditional job and this at the same time. I just wouldn't have enough time and energy to do it at the level that I'm doing it at. So that's why I've sentenced myself to this suffering. So yeah, things are very tough right now in that sense of, I just don't have a lot of food to buy for myself. I'm often only eating about 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. And usually it's the same thing, like instant ramen, or, just really, really cheap breakfast that you can buy for like $1 at the grocery store. And so, it has been very difficult lately because of that. So, if I seem tired in my videos or low energy, that's probably why. Like today, I only ate once today at around 1 p.m. I have not eaten dinner. I'm probably going to go try and do that after, but I have to manage the food that I have so that I don't eat all of it in one go, because I don't want to spend all my money on food, right? So I've got to kind of like plan out the meals, and it's very much of a you have to actively choose how much you're going to eat each day. Like, okay, today I'm only going to eat 1 packet of ramen because I need to save the rest for the rest of the week. Even though I'm really, really hungry, I don't want to eat multiple packs. So, you know, it's just what it is, which is a shame. Because I love pizza and I cannot be buying pizza right now. It just really sucks. I absolutely love pizza. Like I could eat an entire box of pizza by myself. It's one of my favorite foods. And unfortunately, I can't afford to buy pizza right now, so it's pissing me off. So I'm trying to upload more videos and be more consistent on YouTube so that I can buy pizza for myself. But even then, I'd still have to walk there. I guess I could get a delivery, but that like makes the price like twice as expensive. So I'd have to walk there to get it anyways. But luckily, I've got 2 really, really good pizza shops right by my house. They're within walking distance, even though it's like 30 minutes. It's still a nice walk. So maybe I'll film a video one of these days that's like a day in the life with me, and you can see what I get up to. That's the situation with me personally, what's going on right now. I never really share too much about that stuff, but I did want to make that public to let you guys know that I really am kind of giving up everything to make this manga happen. It is absolutely not the case of I am super well off and I'm in this wonderful position and privileged to be making manga all day. It is definitely not that type of scenario. It is like I am really struggling to make this happen, but I'm doing it out of love of the game. I'm just doing it for the love of the game. I already think I mentioned this at some point. I'm on to the next bullet point now. I do need to redo the illustration for this radio show. Like, this is just super outdated by this point. But I'll get to that at some point. That's the reason it hasn't been done now, is there's just so many different things going on and so many other things I have to worry about right now. And making an illustration like this is probably going to take me like 2 days. It takes me about 1 day to do 2 characters, I think. And so I have to redo 4 of them. So that's going to take me like 2 days. And then I got to do the background for stuff like Spotify. Because obviously I repurposed this illustration multiple times. So I will get to it eventually. There's just a lot of other things that are in the priority right now, like finishing the character designs, the updated character designs, and chapter 2 of the manga and the YouTube channel. Like, there's just a lot. So speaking of the YouTube channel, there's lots of new videos coming, which I'm really excited for. So the next one I'm going to start, I don't know if it's going to be the next one I'm going to upload. I don't think it will be, because I think it's going to take me a while. But the next one I'm making is starting the build on Reina's guitar. So I know I mentioned that multiple times, but now that I released the first chapter and we saw Reina's guitar for the first time, I can finally build it, because now I know what it looks like. And so I have all the stuff for that, and really all that needs to be done is the filming and me actually starting it. So that is going to be the next like big project video that I'm going to start, is building those 2 guitars. Not the one that Maki has. I always envisioned Reina having 2 different guitars. So geez, I'm just looking at her in this illustration now. She looks so different now. She doesn't even look like this anymore. So even all of them, like none of the characters look like this anymore. So I think it'll be interesting to see the updated designs. So that's going to be the next big project video that I'm working on, is fixing those 2, or not fixing, but making those 2 guitars. I'm very lightheaded right now because I haven't eaten for a while and I've been talking for a long time. So I think I'm just going to end this off because I'm starting to get a little woozy. The Max Out Discord server, be sure to join. I will leave an invite link in the comments of this. Thank you guys so much for always watching these episodes. I always love chatting with you guys, so please don't be shy with sharing questions. I know it can be a little intimidating because maybe there's not a lot of them, or these videos don't get that many views, so like you don't want to leave a comment on a video with no views, but I promise This is a very interactive radio show. I always read your guys' comments as long as they're appropriate, right? Or they don't contain like massive spoilers of the story. I'm always answering them. You know, anything related to Maxed Out and me as well, as long as it's not personal information. I don't like to share too much about my personal life on here, but you know, just anything related to the channel, Maxed Out, this, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I always take the time to answer them in this episode, as you saw here. But look at that. We perfectly timed this. This is almost an hour now that I've been recording, and I'm ready to wrap this up here. That was pretty nicely timed. So that does it for this episode of Maxed Out Radio. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know, I think we're in a good spot. I'm happy with where I'm at right now. You know, I think I'm just trying to look at it from this perspective of these are the hard times that everybody has to go through at some point in their life to get where they want to go and achieve their goals. And that's where this kind of is for me right now. This is a really difficult time for me. And you know, it's involving a lot of struggle, but it's one that I think in a few years time, I'll look back and kind of be like, you know, that was worth it. And I'd probably do it again if I knew where it was going to lead. So I'm trying to maintain a positive outlook on it, but I do want to be transparent in saying that it is very tough right now. It's very difficult. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for supporting me through this time. You know, I don't take your support for granted. I definitely don't take your reads and your views for granted either. It's all extremely helpful. So anyways, thank you guys very, very much for watching this episode of Maxed Out Radio. I guess I will see you in a couple of weeks when I film again. Maybe I'll start doing them a little bit more frequently. I don't know. I just like to alternate them between videos. You've probably noticed that pattern. I don't like to upload them back to back. But anyways, thank you guys so much. And I guess I will see you in the next episode.